When Jacob Laughlin refers to Landman's most uncomfortable moment, he isn't talking about violence, explosions, or even betrayal in the traditional sense. He's talking about something far more unsettling, the moment where Cooper realizes he's starting to think like Tommy. That realization isn't loud or dramatic, but it's deeply uncomfortable because it forces both the character and the audience to confront what growth in this world actually looks like. The discomfort comes from recognition. Cooper doesn't suddenly become cruel or calculating overnight. Instead, he makes a decision that feels practical, justified, and necessary, the same way Tommy always does. That's the moment Laughlin is pointing to. It's the quiet shift where survival logic replaces moral hesitation. The show doesn't frame it as a victory. It frames it as a loss of innocence Cooper doesn't even fully notice yet. Jacob Laughlin has talked about how that moment stuck with him because it isn't explosive, it's internal. Cooper isn't reacting to chaos anymore. He's anticipating it. That's the line being crossed. Up until that point, Cooper could still tell himself he was different from his father. After that moment, that argument becomes harder to sustain. What makes this especially important for Season 3 is that Landman doesn't believe in consequences that arrive immediately. The show lets choices sit. It allows them to harden into habit. That uncomfortable moment isn't something Cooper processes and moves past. It's something that sets a new baseline. Season 3 will likely explore what happens when that mindset starts guiding bigger decisions, not just emotional ones. There's also a generational layer here. Tommy didn't become who he is because he wanted to be ruthless. He became that way because the system rewarded it. Cooper is now standing at the same crossroads, but with the benefit of seeing the damage firsthand. The discomfort Laughlin points out exists because Cooper knows where this road leads and keeps walking anyway. That internal conflict is what could define Season 3. Cooper won't suddenly become a villain, but he may start making choices that feel justified while quietly eroding his values. The danger isn't that he becomes like Tommy. The danger is that he becomes effective in the same way Tommy is and learns to live with it. This also reshapes his relationships. With Tommy, the power dynamic shifts. Cooper is no longer just learning, he's mirroring. With Cammy, the tension deepens because she represents the path Cooper keeps choosing not to take: restraint, structure, accountability. And with Ariana, the stakes become personal. Loving someone while slowly adopting the worldview that hurt them in the first place creates emotional fracture, whether Cooper intends it or not. Laughlin's comment matters because it signals that Season 3 won't focus on spectacle for Cooper. It'll focus on identity drift. The slow, almost invisible process of becoming someone you once resisted. That's far more unsettling than any explosion because it feels inevitable once it starts. The brilliance of Landman is that it doesn't condemn Cooper for this shift. It observes it. It understands that in this world, survival often demands compromise long before it demands cruelty. The uncomfortable moment isn't meant to shock, it's meant to warn. And going into Season 3, that warning hangs over Cooper's entire arc. The question is no longer whether he can survive in this world. It's whether he can survive as himself, or whether that version of Cooper has already begun to disappear. If Jacob Laughlin is right, then Season 3 won't punish Cooper for crossing that line. It'll explore what happens when he realizes there's no clear way back.